Alrighty, welcome to episode 260 of Tokwa's Ask Us Anything. As usual, it's been a pretty busy news week. Tesla's Model Y has become the first EV in Australian automotive history to top monthly sales across all fuel types. At 5,605 sales in May, the Model Y beat out Ford's Ranger and Toyota's Hilux and RAV4 with 4,474, 4,005 and 3,865 sales respectively. Tesla has announced the imminent release of its vehicle-to-load adapter. Featuring an esoteric upside-down 15-amp single-phase outlet, the adapter's maximum rated power at 230 volts is 3.5 kilowatts. And that was this week's news. Indeed it was, and once again, welcome to the program. As is customary, if there is anyone who is new and is comfortable in doing so, please unmute and say hello.
Probably will have a go. Tim here.
Tim, welcome.
Yeah, I've just first time, and I've got a 2015 Model S.
A
It's
classic.
going quite well. However, the battery did fail a couple of years ago. I replaced the 85 kilowatt hour with a 90. And my reason for coming on tonight, I've got a few technical questions I'll ask in due course.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Well, welcome after, you're the full bottle on Teslas, that's for sure, because you've had one for long enough. In fact, you've got one that's pre-autopilot. Well,
Yeah,
classic,
it's
new
well,
autopilot. It's the old, what's the name? Mobileye.
yeah, yeah. I think it has a well, it's got the upgraded MCU too, but yeah. Look, I didn't have it from new, so it's probably I've had it probably 7 or 8 years, but yeah.
Yep.
Look, it's going well.
Fantastic. Alrighty. Is there anyone else who is new that would like to say hello? All right, perhaps a little bit later on. Um, just quickly, I'm probably going to bang on about this for the next few weeks, but if I can get this working. This is the current tally for the supercharger voting, and you can see that thankfully Baladonia is well out in front, and we've got Ceduna not far behind, and then Norseman, Jurien Bay, Denmark, etc. Now, it really is important if we look on this map. So, by the way, all you do to vote, now please, anyone that is in the room right now or watches this on YouTube or X later on, and you have a Tesla account, please log in and vote. And I'm going to ask you repeatedly to vote strategically. So if we just zoom out on this map, you can see there are a whole lot of places where you can vote. But notably, most of them are in suburban areas, which is literally pointless. It's great if you live in that suburb, um, and I can include with that things like Mindarie. Actually, there's not many in Perth, and you've got Mandurah. You know for a fact that these are going to be done. The same as Jurien Bay. Because Geraldton is a previous winner, you absolutely know that Tesla will not just install Geraldton, they will, by necessity, at the very minimum, install Jurien Bay and possibly another one at Greenhead or somewhere, Lehman, somewhere similar. The same as when Southern Cross won, there was no doubt that Merredin and probably Northam were going to get filled in as well as probably Kalgoorlie. There's also no doubt that with Esperance being last quarter's winner, Tesla will put a supercharger probably at Ravensthorpe and another one at Jerramungup, so you can go between Albany and Esperance, which is a very common tourist route. The real gain to be made is between Perth and the eastern states, and that necessitates closing the massive gap in superchargers between Port Augusta and what would be Southern Cross and we'll become Esperance. And the only two places you can do that is either at Baladonia or Ceduna. So please, please, if you do nothing else with your Tesla account, log in to vote. You just have to tap on you just go into tesla.com and you'll see under charging, you can see supercharger voting. Click on that, log in with your Tesla account, and place two votes, one for Baladonia and one for Ceduna, because it doesn't matter which end wins, both ends win, because what it means is the desolate trip across the Nullarbor becomes that much easier. So, yeah, once again, please, please, if you haven't already voted, please vote. Now, also, um, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but please don't vote for Norseman because Norseman is already going to get done. Because if Baladonia gets done, Norseman has to be done. So voting for Norseman just gives Tesla the opportunity to sort of say, well, Norseman got more votes and we'll just do the low hanging fruit, which is this little loop. We don't just want loops, we want entire routes across the country. So please, just because there are 5 votes that you can use, you don't have to use all of them. Unfortunately, you can't use multiple votes at one location. It's only one vote, one location. Or should I say one location, one vote? But yeah, please, anyone that watches this or sees this, if you've got friends that have Tesla accounts, please encourage them to vote for both Baladonia and Ceduna. We want them. We have thousands of Teslas in Western Australia. We want, wouldn't it be lovely to have 1,000+ votes for Baladonia and Ceduna and send Tesla charging a real message that we want nation building infrastructure? Because sadly, many other governments have tragically failed, specifically failed in providing reliable infrastructure, which we know Tesla will do. All right, enough of that high horse. All right, has anyone got any opening questions or comments? And Tim will definitely get to your Model S questions shortly. Oh, actually, Steve, we've got a casual meetup coming up in Duncraig, I think.
Yep,
Yes,
Duncraig, the Rocky Ridge Tap House.
Yep.
Next Sunday, midday. The details are on the Facebook event that's being created and also the email that you pushed out as chair.
Yep, cool. Very good. All right, look forward to seeing everyone there on Sunday.
We can talk
And-
about supercharger voting as well.
Well, and we shall too. Absolutely.
And-
Excellent.
And Steve, I checked it out for you today for lunch. So I can tell you the cider and the ribs are good.
What about the vegetarian options?
The wife had that. So she had the pumpkin hummus or something. So that was apparently pretty good too.
Good. Excellent. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Very good. All right. Well, with that little bit of housekeeping out the way, let's go back to opening questions or comments.
You happy if I go there, Harold?
Yeah, we might as well, Tim, because we've got a quiet bit. Sometimes the show's a bit slow to start, and then sometimes it really revs up towards the end when we're trying to go to bed. But yeah, go, Tim.
Sure. Yeah, my question is just for anyone who might have familiarity with the Tesla Toolbox software and has used it, and I'm looking at just getting a day use. I think it's $115 for 1 day use. And the reason being, I mentioned I had the battery failure probably about a year and a half ago. The Tesla replaced it with the 90 kilowatt hour.
Yep.
They went to the trouble of changing the decal on the boot from 85 to 90,
Yes.
but they didn't change the software to reflect the 90, the internal software. So I still have a 85 on the on-screen display on the menu.
Yes.
Now I've seen an online video where the guy uses his Tesla toolbox, and he's just a third-party repairer who uses his Tesla toolbox and he just puts he put in a 100 kilowatt hour battery for this particular YouTube video. And it's just a drop down box in the software where you decide whether whatever size battery you put in, then that sets the internal car software to reflect the battery size.
Yep.
Now, Tesla will do this for me for $1,027.
So hang on, is this actually increasing the capacity? So did you get the battery under warranty?
It was done under warranty, yes. It was done as a goodwill. It was out of warranty, but it was
Sorry, did you
replaced.
pay? Okay, I'll rephrase it. Did you pay for it?
No,
Okay.
they did a goodwill replacement,
Yep.
and
Okay.
the
Yep.
goodwill replacement was free.
Okay.
So I don't have any recourse to sort of jump up and down
No,
because
and did they tell you that they did tell you that they replaced the 85 kilowatt hour pack with a 90 kilowatt hour pack.
correct.
Did they tell you that they software limited the capacity of the battery to be 85 kilowatt hours in line with the battery they replaced?
They didn't say precisely what it is limited to. Only I do know that the range at the moment with 90 kilowatt hours is about 402 kilometers. That's what it's telling me now with a 90. And I'm not sure whether that's reflective of an 85 or a 90, but it's really just a case of having the screen software look nice. And I'm not sure whether the BMS is actually seeing the 90 kilowatt hour regardless. I suspect I'm actually getting 90 kilowatt hours of range, but what I don't have is a screen that shows me a 90 kilowatt hour. It doesn't say 90D, for example.
Tim, if I can
No,
just
so
cut in here for a sec, because I've got a 2015 85D, and we get 345 k's of range at do you know what? I'm going to come back to you and just fact check this. So are you saying that's 100%? You get 402?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, all right. I'll just check what we get.
so I think one of the biggest issues is you didn't pay for it. So well, actually, what I'd do is I would ask Tesla. So you said that Tesla offered to change the wording on the screen, which is your software screen, which shows your car and its name.
Yep.
They've said that will cost you so was it $1,000, $1,100, whatever, over
Yeah.
$1,000, right?
Yeah.
I guess the question to ask is, what are you getting for the $1,000? If
And
all
that's
you're getting is a font change, let's call it a text change on the software screen only, bearing in mind that the technical description of your car is a Model S. Sorry, is it a P or is it just an 85D? It's
just
an
85D.
85D. That's its model name. So in fact, that's its legal name under the registration papers. Although it might have just said Model S under your rego papers, under model. But it's effectively the designator of the car is Model S 85D. That's what Tesla used to call those kind of cars.
Also matched to the VIN.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So I guess the real question is, what are you trying to gain by changing the lettering? Now, if all you're gaining is the difference of two numbers for $1,100, that's just pointless. If what Tesla is saying is it's costing $1,100 because they are going to unlock the extra 5 kilowatt hours of usable because basically because they don't have any 85 packs, they put in a larger pack, and rather than giving you a freebie, they've said, no, if you want that extra capacity to be unlocked as additional range or usable range, then that's going to cost you $1,100. By way of comparison, I think I paid several $1,000s on my wife's S60 rear-wheel drive car because it was actually a cheaper sold as brand new. That option was cheaper than buying a S75, and it was, I think, 3 grand roughly for the extra software to uncork the software limiting or software limitation of removing 15 kilowatt hours of usable just to sell the car for less. So it sounds to me if it's $1,000 per 5 kilowatt hours, that's kind of the going rate of what Tesla used to do for software limitations or uncorking them. And you
Right.
need to ask Tesla, is the $1,000+ giving you the extra 5 kilowatt hours usable? In which case, it's up to you whether to use it. One pro tip is, and by all means, do lots of Googling about this and look in the forums. If it is the case that they are limiting um, the top, it could mean that you could just charge your car at closer to 100% rather than 90%.
That's the
And
query I have as well, because I actually asked them specifically. You said, "What am I getting for $1,000? Are you opening up the extra 5 kilowatt hours?" And he said, "Oh, you'll probably get about 10 kilometers of range," which didn't really gel with 5 kilowatt hours. I think I worked out. I think that was about 30. Hang on, that was it. Yeah, I think it's an extra 30 k's for 5 kilowatt hours.
yeah,
But it didn't quite make sense to me what he said that it might unlock an extra 10 kilometers of range. So I couldn't get a straight answer out of them. They didn't actually really know. I don't actually. I sense that they didn't really know, but they said they couldn't unlock the 90 because of the big brother nature of Tesla systems. Is as soon as they went into their laptop and they added that 5 kilowatt hours, it obviously ticked off alarm bells. Well, it
yeah,
basically meant that they had to charge. So he said he couldn't
yes,
do it.
yeah, yeah. So, okay, so that does sound to me like it is actually removing the software limitation for which Tesla headquarters is, well, from a shareholder's point of view, rightly saying, well, if we're going to give someone extra value, we'd like to extract
Yes.
some money for that value. Um, I think in hindsight with my wife's car, although I mean it's been sold, many years ago and whatever, is often the unlocking of software unlocking. I think you can just basically move the slider up to 100% instead and use the battery that way. Because in the Model S's, your recommendation is I think still 90%. So you can
Yes.
just
Yeah.
slide to 100 and use the capacity anyway.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what the total capacity is, it's what the day-to-day usable is that really counts. And
Yeah.
is it worth $1,000?
Yes.
Given
It
you
is.
got something for nothing. I mean, you
Hey
can get for
Tim,
nothing. You got it replaced under warranty, and now you've got a better pack than you had before.
Yeah.
so Tim, can't actually find a recent screenshot of when we last had the car at 100%, but I'm pretty sure we get about 390 k's now at 100%. Yeah, 100%, and it's got 160,000 k's on it. So it doesn't sound like there's that much in it, really. If you've been driving slightly more efficiently, I'd say
Yeah.
that's still within the same similar ballpark.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I just for those who have seen that, I've got the cable. That's the cable with the LAN connection at the end. But that particular cable is $12 or something online. But yeah, I'm sort of half tempted to have a red hot go with getting this Tesla toolbox. But I just wanted to see if anyone might have played around with it to
And
see.
was this to try and to tweak it up to get the higher capacity, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Look, it's you've already described that Tesla themselves said that if they try anything at the workshop, that head office will quickly shut that down.
Yeah. So
There's
it's
no reason to
probably
believe that somehow if you do it, that there'll be a different result. Look,
yeah.
it's your car, you own it. You can have a red hot crack. Do all the Googling, look at, people like Rich Rebuilds who do all sorts of interesting things, inverted commas, of Teslas. I guess you've got very little to lose, probably. Um, yeah, that's about the depth of the knowledge we have here as far as things like that. Um, yeah, look, give it a crack if you're curious, and if not,
Yeah,
you've
I
still
think
got a great pack.
it might cost me
Yeah.
$115 for a day's use of Tesla Toolbox, and I might just end up no difference
Yeah.
anyway.
What might be useful is if you've got, I remember with the old Model X, I had a OBD connector adapter that plugs in. It's under, yeah, it's where you, I think it's where you plug in the Ethernet thing. Very similar setup, where you can then hook up a dongle and have a look at what your battery pack's actually doing, and that might be quite instructive, especially
Yeah,
when it comes to charging it to say 100% as opposed to 90%. And you might actually work out for yourself that you're just better off just sweeping the charge. Actually, do this experiment on all cars that really do need to be at 90% for the old S's and X's, or at 80% for the 3s and Ys, the long range 3s and Ys. Do the experiment. Do you still see the daily and the trip tick marks on your battery charging slider under the charging
yes, yes, yeah,
menu?
yep,
Right, so it still says daily and trip.
yes,
Okay, then try to slide it to 100% and see if it gives you the warning that says you should only use this for trips.
yeah. Although I'll have to check that because my wife's got a Model Y, so I might be mistaking that what the slide
Yeah,
says
so
on hers.
so
But
so
yeah,
do that experiment. So because Richard Chapman, you're still in the house. I think you're still there. Yes, you are. Your X and S still says 90% for daily, Richard, who will come back to us later. We'll follow
No,
that
I'm
up.
here, Harold.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry,
yeah, absolutely bang on. Yeah, so it's yeah, 90% is the
still 90,
appropriate.
right?
Yeah,
Yep,
it's the appropriate charge level on a daily for that chemistry.
perfect. So Tim, I highly recommend you, while you're charging the car, slide the slider to 100 and see what it says. If it stays silent, then there's literally no point in paying the money because you've already got the usage by charging to the 100%, which is similar to 90% if the whole capacity was shown to you.
yes, yeah.
So,
Well, that's you give me a good idea because I do have that that dongle, the OBD MX Plus, already with the
perfect. Then
Tesla, but
then
I
do
haven't
the
actually
slide.
investigated.
Yep,
Yeah,
then do the slide and also chuck in the dongle and have a look with Scan My Tesla or whatever. And
yeah,
that way you'll have a good look to see what the battery's really doing.
yeah. That's great. Great idea. Appreciate that. Thank you
Oh,
for your help.
no worries. Alrighty. Anyone else got any questions or comments? All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Pete, how would you no.
I was going to
Okay.
say, how
Yes,
did
Cameron.
how did it all go with the version 14? I think there's
Ah,
33
yes.
cars in Australia or something. Or did you bring that up at the start?
No, so I'm going to dig out the email that was sent to everyone who has FSD or wanted to
I've got it here
subscribe
in
to
front.
FSD.
Got it in front of me if you need it.
Yeah, no, I got it. Okay, so I'm just going to check there's nothing untoward, so I can put it up. It's got my email address, but no one really cares about that. I just got to check something. Yeah, let's
I'll
zoom
put it
in a
in
little
chat.
bit. So basically, it's got we're reaching out with an update regarding full self-driving supervised activation on your Model Y. This will also apply, by the way, to anyone that's got a very recent Model 3. FSD supervised V14 for hardware for vehicles is in its final stages of local development and testing. This release represents a meaningful step forward in performance and capability, and we want to ensure your experience reflects that from the moment it's available on your vehicle. While we don't have a confirmed update to share just yet. Please know that our team is actively working on development, and you'll be notified as soon as an update is ready to install on your vehicle. For subscription customers, billing will begin automatically once the software has been installed. Thanks for your patience. Now, what's the big news thing is, without relying on any inside information, if you read this as is written, it's basically implying that the only way you'll get FSD supervised on these recent cars is for it to be version 14. So if you read between the lines, what it's saying is version 13, which all of the older cars have with real FSD, is not compatible with these new cars. So that's the interpretation as you read between the lines. So really, it's just an update from the email that we all got as purchasers of these new cars prior to them arriving. Is we got the warning that said that FSD, it didn't explain why, but this email, basically, if you read between the lines, is saying that for whatever reason, the software incompatibility with these vehicles is such that Tesla is only running version 14 through them, and obviously they're working on it. So that's the big story as far as, and I guess the good news then therefore means that once all of these new cars that have been deprived of FSD get FSD, then the older cars, namely the Highland Model 3s and the Juniper and some of the classic Model Ys, the younger ones, will also get FSD version 14, which is great.
It also
Absolutely
includes
fabulous.
the Model YL, yeah?
It's a Model YL, so we know Model YL is from Shanghai. We know that the performance Model Ys from Berlin are also affected, and we know the Model 3s, which are also from Shanghai. We don't get any cars from any other of the factories, but we definitely know that Shanghai, and this is something that happened in the last few months for brand new cars. That I know, for example, my wife's let's call it refreshed Juniper or enhanced Juniper, standard Juniper, long range, that came out about in October, November last year. That had to wait a little while, but that got what we call now classic FSD, well, the current FSD version 13 point something. So between back then and a month or two ago, there's been a change in the way Tesla set up these cars. And like I said, reading between the lines, it's basically saying that these cars will not use anything less than version 14, which they're working on. And something that's definitely official is that Tesla is working on its own version of FSD for Australian conditions. This is not a mirrored American version or left-hand drive version. This is an Australian trained specific right-hand drive version for Australian conditions.
So what's going to be interesting is what version 14 actually brings to Australia. So whether we get the true point-to-point, the car park to car park, whether that's one of the enhancements, or, I mean, personally, I'd just be happy if the reliability goes up. Basically true. But yeah, I mean, if most of the mistakes seem to be from being in the wrong lane. So incorrect lane selection seems to be at the, that and car parks seem to be at the root of most of the safety interventions that I've been doing. So yeah, if they can iron that out, that would be awesome. If we get car park to car park, that would be a very nice bonus. If we get to pick your destination, so if you can say, well, you know, I'm not just going to Lakeside Joondalup Shopping Centre, I'm going to the Hoyts car park, or I'm going to the Australia Post car park, or what have you, that would be pretty cool. but I don't think we'll get options for the different driving modes, like Mad Max and Sloth and whatever. I think we'll
No.
just stay with the default one.
In America, the defiance of posted speed limits is normal behavior. And that's something that is just not tolerated in Australia. So
But even
It's-
even an Australian version, I don't think we'll even get an Australian version of the different profiles. I think
no,
we'll
no,
just still
because our version will just do the speed limit. Because Mad Max, I think, definitely speeds and stays with traffic and is more aggressive. I mean, the aggressiveness is fine, but I think it definitely goes faster than the posted speed limits. And like I said, in Australia, that's just forbidden by definition.
But you know how on Odyssey Beta we've got I forget what the names are because I haven't used it for so long. You know how there's is it Mad Max? I think Mad Max is still one.
Yeah.
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 So the different profiles. So I don't think we'll get those profiles on the true FSD,
FSD,
supervised with City Streets on Hardware 4. I think we'll just be stuck on that default one. I think we've got Shane and Sarah joining us.
Yeah,
Hello.
they've been with us for a little while, and they're in a model. What version FSD are you guys using?
We haven't got one.
We
at
haven't
all.
we haven't even got premium connectivity in this thing.
We're having to use Bluetooth for music.
All right, so you only got autopilot, crappy autopilot.
Only got autopilot, yeah.
And a
Yeah,
few strikes along the way.
And a couple of strikes, yeah.
yeah. At least they wear off fairly quickly.
Least
Yeah.
autopilot sticks to the speed limit, Shane.
This one only lets you go 10 k's over,
The post.
and the regular traffic is doing maybe 20, 25
25
over, and that's including the trucks like the semis and whatnot. They're doing 25 k's over the limit.
Because in Canada they drive like the Americans.
They're a bit crazy. Yep.
Especially in the cities.
So whereabouts are you guys?
Halfway across, nearly. We're nearly in Winnipeg today.
So yes.
Where actually are we?
So
we're
you're
on-
on the Trans-Canadian Highway?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. We're this is their. Can you see that Canadian Tire? This is their Bunnings.
Oh, hang on. Let me just spotlight you so you can.
These things here are
Canadian
there.
Tire.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
right.
like their Bunnings over here. They're sort of like
Everywhere.
sort of a Bunnings, but they're sort of everywhere. And everywhere you go,
Oh, look
we
at
see this.
that. Bloody
Look at this
superchargers
here.
everywhere
There's
Everywhere.
6-stall supercharger
at Bunnings.
at Bunnings, and every little town.
350, 200k max.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
So
Yeah.
there were 3 Canadians that took a Tesla without any intervention from east to west. And it's funny because a few people have been posting towards me on X saying, "Oh, when are you going to do Australia's first intervention-less lap around
what's
Australia?"
intervention?
And
What do
and
you
the
mean
real
by
answer is,
interventionalist?
oh, no intervention, like not touching anything,
Oh,
like just hitting
right,
go
yeah,
on FSD. And
Yep.
this is including charging because in America and in Canada, the cars will reverse to a supercharger stall. You don't have to
cool.
for park. They do the whole lot, right? Everything. Now, in Australia, I can guarantee you, for the next 10 years, I will never be able to do an interventionless
No.
lap around Australia. Because how the hell do I tell my car to go around the back of Sandfire Roadhouse and park next to the crappy unknown WAV network Tritium that probably won't be working anyway? So, or how many kangaroos have you seen on the Trans-Canadian highway lately?
Actually, we haven't even seen any roadkill.
That,
We've seen nothing.
No,
Unbelievable.
because there's so much traffic and so many road trains or semi-trailers or whatever. It's like going on the eastern seaboard between, say, Sydney and Brisbane. Yeah, there's bush and stuff, but there's no roadkill because there's no wildlife either left, or they've got fences that are, 8-foot
Yeah, they do.
fences that fence them in
Yeah.
or fence them out, should I say? But in Australia, where you've got cattle going across the road with gate
Yeah.
We just let
abandoned,
it wander.
There's all these warning signs for
Moose.
moose. But well, we wound up
Let's not jinx it.
we wound up staying at a random Canadian's house last night just because.
The,
Long story.
the road was closed.
Um,
There's only one road.
But we're talking to them. We're saying about all these moose signs. Where are all the moose? We haven't seen any. And yeah, apparently that's not really a thing. Whereas in Australia, if you see a cow sign or a kangaroo sign,
pay
they
attention.
think
you
'em.
bloody obey it. Yeah, they are fair dinkum. Very
Yeah,
good.
but
So,
seeing the charger network over here has just been a revelation. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. If you wanted to imagine towing imagine towing your caravan
Yeah, we've
across
seen a
the
couple.
Trans-Canadian Highway. I mean, it would just
We
be
would
so
be-
saw
easy.
a Y with a big van yesterday on it. We didn't get a chance to chat to them actually, but
And we spoke to a Cybertruck guy with a big caravan as well.
he's only getting, what was he, 180 range out of his?
Something like that. Yeah, wasn't
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, not much. No, that's right. Oh, very good. So you guys are halfway through
Very
your trip
nice.
then.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Heading to the mountain. That'd be
Yes.
good.
Fantastic. All
And
right.
one thing that we did do right in Australia is all have
Oh yeah.
all the same plugs. Here there are about 4 different types of plugs.
So superchargers are fine, but any other
Yeah.
DC you need an adapter and
Yes, that's right.
don't come with a hire car. But yeah, it's been great being in a familiar car, even if it's on the other side of the car, another side of the road.
It is. No, and even with ordinary autopilot, it just takes away that
It does, just that
It
extra
does.
level of
that
thinking.
minutiae. It lets your brain relax for a while, and you get
Yeah.
used to your setting position and stuff. So, yeah,
And just jumping in, you're on a plane for 27 hours, jump in your hire car and it will set to your, all of the
It's
easy
kind yeah.
Tesla things.
of funny. You scan the little QR code in the car, and it sets all your mirror position
But
and
of
your
course
seat
they're
position and
inverted.
everything. But everything's backwards, so your mirrors don't exactly work because they're backwards.
Oh, well, there you go. There's a
That was a
feature
bit weird.
request. Who would have funked it that, hey,
Yeah,
Tesla, you need to mirror the
Go and
mirrors.
check which country we're in, please.
You need to invert the mirror in the seat position. Yeah.
But yeah, the premium connectivity is a bit of a pain. So I don't know if anyone there's got any suggestions for us because
And if it involves speaking
you
to
can't.
Hertz,
Forget
can't
it.
do it.
Forget talking to
Yeah.
Hertz. It's pointless.
yeah, they're hoping.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is spot thingy off your mobile,
Hotspot off the phone.
hotspot off your phone. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's a shame.
That's
a shame.
In hindsight, you could have had a Starlink. You could have bought a Starlink Mini with you, and that for a month you
could have.
get the same service
I
for
think
free.
I think we're pretty much on our baggage limit.
Yeah, we were 500 grams short on baggage anyway, so it wasn't happening.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's great that you
We
guys
better
are
keep
having
going.
fun. Yeah. Do
Yeah.
keep going, and good to see
Early
you
start
guys.
today.
Yeah, it was 7:10 in the morning yesterday, Wednesday morning. So
This morning, it's tonight.
yeah, we're
It's
from
7
the
a.m.
past.
this morning.
Yeah.
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 Well, we can
we're
tell
in
you
the
that
past.
lunch was good, so you got lunch to look forward to. There's no dramas,
Keep driving, you'll get
and
there.
and dinner was great. But by dinner time, you should be several hundred miles down the road.
Oh, we will. The roads have been great, and we've been lucky with the weather. So
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
good trip so
fantastic,
far. Happy days.
awesome. Enjoy.
All
All
right.
right, good to see you
Thank
guys.
you.
Take care. Cheers.
Bye,
Bye.
people.
Alrighty. For that little interlude, has anyone got any other questions or comments?
With regard to the update, will they fix the speed? Because we've just stood across Australia and the speed has been appalling, where it's just, you've set it at 110, 115 and it just does 100. I
That
tried it at
much?
110.
Mine used to do 90.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes it drifts right the way down to 90. And you think, why is that? All the things you could understand them getting right. I can't understand why the speed just drifts down. That's
Yeah,
why it
it's
was at
just what
115. I
FS.
thought set 115, that might actually keep you 105.
No.
But it doesn't. It just
No, so when you do that on FSD, on the proper FSD, it's as you approach that limit, it's actually a maximum speed, which is hard coded into the software. So the car will not basically go above that speed. And if you
Yeah.
invoke it to slow it down to that maximum, the car will quite quickly respond and go down to that, to be no more than that speed. But it unfortunately doesn't take it as like a suggestion of where you want it to be. It's just a hard limit. So it's
Yeah, but it doesn't even kick. I mean, it's 110 speed limit, or even 130 in the Northern Territory, and it was going down to 100. In
Yeah.
the end, I just got used to driving around at 100. Just like, oh, stuff it. It's just a lot easier to just like cruise along at 100.
just tap your right foot. You get a sore toe, but you just keep helping it with the accelerator.
Yeah, but then it affects your economy because you're constantly going up and down and up and down. If you just keep it 100, your economy goes really good. So it's just a pain.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a classic first world tested problem with FSD, which hopefully they will.
Yeah, but it should. If you set 110 and it's 110, it should stick at 110. It did with autopilot.
Yeah, there's actually a good segue with Shane and Sarah, who are in Canada, also Canada, which is not that far from Route 66. Well, it is actually. It's thousands of miles from Route 66. But the reason why 66 is an important number is because that's the rank of Mark and Shirley, who just came back from a successful circumnavigation of Australia. They are the 66th around Australia lap in a pure EV. So
beaten by James 65th.
No, there was James and Janine were 64. And then Rod O'Donnell in a Zika was 65.
That's it.
So 66, 66, 67, 68. Just need two more people to go round. Just two more. Come on, Tesla. I want FSD soon-ish.
Yes. I would like to have been 42.
Yeah, who was 42? Who was 42? Tim Devereaux in a Hyundai Kona. Tim's a sand groper from Harvey, so he was 42. So there you go. So how was it, Mark? Tell us a bit about your lap, because I can't remember. You haven't been on the program for a long time, so
no, because we've been away for 10 weeks. Spent 10 weeks doing it. Not 10 days. You're 10 days. We're 10 weeks.
That's a great way of doing it. Just quietly, 10 weeks would be awesome.
It was very, very good. Very, very enjoyable. Brilliant. And Full Self-Driving saved us from one of the Brahman cows up there.
Yep.
Driving along really narrow road, bush fairly close in either side, warnings of cattle, saw some cattle up ahead, slowed down for the cattle, watching the left-hand side, all down side, and one came out from the right, which I never saw. The first thing I knew about it was the car was braking. I saw it and hit the brakes. I missed it by 6 foot.
Yes. Yeah.
Unlike someone else I know who didn't.
Yes, but that was autopilot.
Yeah.
That was
autopilot. And it was dark as well I was in daylight at least.
Yeah, and there was a guy in a Subaru facing the other way with his LED light bar blinding everything. But never mind.
Yeah, but it was absolutely brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. So would you recommend...
was a game changer.
Well, would you recommend anyone else does it anytime soon?
Oh, yes, definitely. If you've got the time, you got the money, just do it.
I wonder where we passed you, Mark.
I don't know where you passed us.
Yeah,
because you went round the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally live three or four streets away from us.
Yeah.
You were going round one way, we were going round the other.
Sorry, Mark, I haven't been in for a while.
You.
Is that a full lap you did? Sorry, James.
Yeah, full lap, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Sorry.
But we did a full lap, and we took Rob's advice and took the Savannah way up at the top there. So we went a bit higher up Queensland and across the top, and that was a bit of a pain.
So, pray tell, why was it a pain there, Mark?
Because we'd got one day where we've got 476 Ks, I think it was, to do. maybe just a bit less than that. And as we were going across, there was a detour, 100k detour, and no refueling spot. And eventually I ended up limping into the place with 2% left on the battery. And
So
what's more, I had to go across about an 8-inch, probably 40, 50 meter weir across thing. And this was done by the roads department. This was the detour that everyone was supposed to go down, and going up the other side was like I just looked at it and went, this is the 4-wheel drive. This is not for a Model Y. But I had no battery to turn around. I had no option. I had to go forward. And that's where the software and everything was telling me to go. And that was a roads thing. In fact, at one point, there was a grader coming the other way. We had to move over to let the grader pass because they were still making it trackable.
So, I guess, yeah, it's a little bit like that Star Trekking song, Always Moving Forward because we can't find reverse. So for you, there was no reverse. It was just
because there was no option. I didn't have any. Only way I could go was forward. All I had to do was keep going slower to eke out my range to get in.
And how did you get that sort of tip? Where'd you find that information as a Tesla driver?
There's a couple of old guys I know who've done it before.
Well, there's a show called Ask Us Anything where it's like, and this is why we bang on that EVs are great because if you're in a bind, you just slow down.
Unbelievable source. The whole lot of you are all unbelievable source. And thank you very much for your help.
Oh no, it's a club. It's all of us in the on Ask Us Anything that contribute to that knowledge that, you know, if you're really in a pickle, just slow down if you really have to, because you'll just stretch your range. And
it was amazing what a difference it made.
Yep.
It really blew me away what a difference it made. Yep.
And with 2%, you probably had an extra 15 Ks you could have driven anyway, or 10 Ks. So, you know, you romped it in. You know, you could have sped up towards the end. Excellent. Oh, that's cool.
It was good.
Well, congratulations, number 66. That's 2/3 the way to the century. So, and you know, the first person to go round was Glenn George in 2011.
And then incredible with 33 kilowatt battery.
Yep, and it took another 5 years for Richard McNeil from Sydney to be number 2 in September 2016. So really, in let's call it 10 years, we've had 65 people go round, or 65 cars go round. So
how accurate is that? Do you think? Do you think it's pretty accurate for the amount of people?
It's accurate. The early ones are dead accurate because we know because everyone posted in the old days on PlugShare. I mean, it was unavoidable. You basically everyone did because there were so few. Look, in modern times, there might be a bit of error, but we're doing the best we can. But sadly, it's not dozens and dozens out. It's probably only a handful, if that, tops. So it's still a very good indicator of what's going on. And I guess that's the point. As a relative measure, what we want to see is, you know, I mean, look, if we just open, I'll just put up the screen. So Glenn George 2011, then, you know, you've got September 16, November 16. That's kind of the driving season. But then there was nothing until Sylvia, you know, 18 months later. You know, 2018, 2018, and you got 2019, 2019. You've only got a handful a year. In 2020, obviously the COVID era, and then, you know, it slowly sort of starts ramping up, but it's, you know, happily towards the bottom, we're starting to get, you know, we've got 3 this year so far, and we've got quite a few in 2025, which is really great, you know. You've got more than a dozen in 25, but we really want to see exponential growth. But again, sadly, and that's why I'm going to bang on again.
We need
the only way to cross the Nullarbor reliably is to do it the same way as you cross the eastern seaboard reliably, which is with Tesla superchargers.
Yeah.
It's sadly the only way.
And the same at the top end there, Chelsea. Across the top end is still switching it, especially the vandalized ones. Even the ones that are supposed to be, they're just vandalized. They just don't work.
So where did you overnight, Mark? Did you overnight at Fitzroy River Lodge?
No. We went to the inn. It's a lovely place.
At Fitzroy Crossing?
Yeah, Fitzroy Inn. I think
Where's
it's called
that?
Fitzroy Inn. It's a little bit round the corner from the Fitzroy Lodge. It's a fantastic place.
Oh, okay.
You pull in there and it's a very, very rough donga. Very, very rough. We went to the bar and it was just full of Indigenous people. Fair enough. No problem with that.
Yep.
Went up to the bar. Yeah, and wants to have a drink. Oh, shows your driving license. Shows driving license.
Did you blow in the bag? Do you have to blow first?
Then you had to blow in a breathalyzer before they would tell you what they got to drink. And when you asked them what they got to drink, all they had were tins of beer. Didn't you have any draft beer? Didn't have any wine? Just tins of beer. That's all you could get. You had to blow a breathalyzer before they give you a drink.
Yeah.
First time ever.
But they don't ever get you to blow again. It's really funny. You blow the first time, blow zero the first time, and then you can have as many as you like. And you swap can for can. So you have one can out, one can in.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So what's disappointing
it's a different world.
The only place to charge on three-phase at Fitzroy Crossing is at the Fitzroy River Lodge. That's the only source of three-phase charging because if you looked at, it's now been removed off PlugShare, we got it removed, but at the BP, the three-phase plug's just been smashed to pieces.
Yeah.
And Halls Creek is not much better. You've got the three-phase working.
Yeah.
But the Chem Power has been smashed to pieces and is not working.
Yeah. The one good thing about the lodge was not the lodge, sorry, I think it's called the Fitzroy Inn or Fitzroy Motel or something. And that one they did let us use the caravan socket. And that was enough. That's all I needed. I got enough charge when we arrived in to just use that, and that just topped us up, and that gave us enough to get on.
So you filled up at the Mueller Ranges?
Yes, I filled right the way up, yeah. And then when I got there, I'd got two things. I just managed to use the 15 amp and just kept it under 15 amp just so it didn't trip.
Yeah.
And that was more than enough.
To get to the room.
Exactly the same. We filled fully up at Mueller Range.
Yeah.
We're rear-wheel drive 2022.
All credit to you, was it, to do it with the shorter range, because there's a few places I used every bit of range up out of ours.
And we went to the lodge though. Didn't use the three-phase. We got in there about 8 o'clock at night, plugged in, showered, went to bed, woke up, and we woke up on 99%. So wasn't.
I wish we could have done, but the lodge was full. They got a coach trip going through, and so that night we wanted, we couldn't get.
Oh, we were camping in the car though, so that's why.
That's all right.
Caravan site.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, you did well.
We're that stupid. We're about to go because we didn't go to far north Queensland because of the cyclone.
Oh yes.
So we skipped that.
Yeah.
So next school holidays, we're leaving. We're driving to Cairns and back. Not doing a lap, just going to Cairns and back.
Yeah. Oh right.
And Mark, guess what? Guess what they're doing it in?
What?
James?
No, we're doing it in our rear-wheel drive. Our new one will not arrive. Will not arrive, unfortunately.
What have you got ordered?
Is that been confirmed?
Ordered.
Yep.
Wow.
Because the school holidays are only in 4 weeks' time.
What have you got ordered, James?
We've got a.
Oh, sorry, James. I thought you were going to do it in September holidays.
We were, but other things in the family have come up, and we won't be able to go on those holidays.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah,
so if anyone is not taking delivery of their YL, we are happy to swap order in the queue because we'd really like to not have to stop that extra few times.
Yeah.
Right. Good luck with that ambition there, James. Yes.
Oh, Model YL.
Maybe someone can lend you a Model YL.
What range is that, guys? That's about 620 or something like that now.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when we hit a kangaroo on the way back.
Oh, you didn't, did you?
Yeah, we did in Broome.
Oh.
Bit of gaffer tape, some zip ties, all good. We got a loan car from Tesla because they do that $85 a day covered by insurance. And when I picked it up, it was he said, "Oh, we need your car for 10 days." I said, "Oh, what's the kilometerage on this? How many kilometers are we allowed to do?" He said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's a petrol car. There's no limit." And then he turned around and said, "How far could you go in 10 days?"
Around Australia.
Well, they've got it now.
Yes.
At Scarborough Road. Just go and test drive it and bring it back in 10 days.
Dearie me. Yes.
Can I borrow for the weekend, please?
Yes.
Yes. Very good. Oh, that's great, Mark, that you got back safely. And like I said, congratulations, number 66.
Yes.
And yeah.
I did see you an email. I've got you the comms cable still. I've got the spare wheel.
Oh, sorry. No, you
Is
sent
that-
me a text, and I was just super busy, and I just didn't get round to it.
It's all right. So is that if I give you that back on Sunday? Are you there on Sunday?
I'll probably be there. So bring it with you, and
Yeah.
If not, I'll
probably
grab it
be
off you.
there.
I need it in a few weeks.
Well, if that's the case, yeah, you can back pinch it off me.
Can I?
Um,
Hello?
yes, Stefan.
Yeah, look, I've got a totally different question and then I'll leave
Yep.
it alone. I've got a wall charger, which I got with my first Tesla. I now got a Model Y. Anyway, my wife's probably getting an MG S5 electric car, which
Yep.
I believe also has the right charging connector. Is it
Yep.
possible with this small charger that I've got to charge that car?
It depends. So, has it got? You got to look at the instructions for the charger. If it's the very oldest one, which it won't be, if it's
No, I got my wall charger in 2019.
I think it's in the danger period. So the correct answer will be you probably won't be able to know until you try it if it's compatible. If you've still got the instruction manual for it, or you can just take a photo of the side panel, which has got the product code, the model code, yeah, and Google the instructions for it. Some of them had like a rotary switch, they had a rotary switch to set the current limit, and then they had a couple of dip switches to set the mode, and on one span of them, so for a certain number of months or a year or whatever, that particular model had the option of having Tesla only or all EVs as a manual setting.
Well, this one has got nothing, absolutely nothing.
No, it's inside. No, it's inside. You won't set on the outside. This is inside,
Oh, I
where
see.
the actual electrical connections are made to the circuit board. There will be a rotary switch, and there may or may not be a couple of dip switches, little mini switches. So do look at the model number for it, and Google the instructions if you don't still have them, and just check to see whether there's the option for that to charge non-Tesla EVs, because Tesla uses a different communications protocol than normal cars when it comes to talking to their own wall connectors. So the very oldest ones were compatible with everything. There was a middle range version that was not compatible with non-Teslas, and then that compatibility returned as a selectable option. And the very modern ones now that you can buy for about $800, there's a software option which you set under a web page that can absolutely open it to all EVs. So, Stefan, the correct answer is we don't know, but you should be able to find out by looking at the model name or model number and Google the instructions. Okay. And then if it does come to pass that it can be done, you've just got to take the front fascia off, which is there's a Torx screw at the bottom of that main silver sort of plate that covers up the LEDs. At the very bottom, there's a single screw that holds that in place. You can then lift it off, and then you'll find about a dozen screws underneath that hold the main physical ceiling sort of lid, which then gets you access to the switches inside.
Okay. All right, I shall have a look. It's not a big deal because the car comes with its own charger, which you can just plug into the wall anywhere.
Yeah. Do you have single phase or three-phase power?
No, single phase.
Yeah, see, that would work perfectly then for your wife's car because that will have a single phase charger, which means you'd be on 32 amps single phase, which is...
That's what my wall charger is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, if it comes to pass that wall charger that you've got is not compatible, then a good value proposition is to get Tesla's new one, and that'll charge both cars seamlessly.
Okay. All right.
Otherwise, you've got to faff around. I mean, look, if your wife doesn't drive a car very much, you could just use the 10 or 15 amp wall connector or something like that comes with the car. It'll just take a lot longer to charge. But if she doesn't use it very much compared to, say, your main car, then that's probably a viable solution too.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Good luck with that. All the best with it. Alrighty. Any other questions or comments?
I've got a question. I've just noticed on my Tesla door trim where I normally just put my arm up and hold the steering wheel with a couple of fingers while it's on FSD, there's a big dent.
Yep.
Where my elbow sits on the door.
So Terry, you must have learnt the same lesson from your father as I learnt from mine, which is the best way to keep your car driving straight is to hold your right hand onto the steering wheel and just lean your elbow on the side. And then that way, when you turn your head, if you're manually driving, the car doesn't
100%.
follow the direction of your head. So all my cars, as soon as I drive a single lap, within 2 or 3 days, there's a full-on dent there on the. It's just what happens, Terry.
I'm not happy. I'm taking it in. I want it fixed. So they shouldn't dent, surely. It's not that much pressure. I'm questioning the Tesla anyhow, so.
Yeah, good luck with that. I've seen it. It's very common. Yeah, no, I mean, look, all the best for seeing what happens. I don't know what they can do about it, to be perfectly honest, because they're all built. All those cars are built the same, and they've done that dent. My brand new YL hasn't got the dent much because actually, when you're driving on FSD, proper FSD, which I haven't yet, there is no dent because you don't have to hold your hand that way anymore. You don't have to hold the steering wheel for that matter. But on autopilot, you do. And yeah, all my cars, my classic Model Y did it. My Model X, I can't remember. But the Ys I've had have all done it. And my brand new YL is developing one because I haven't got FSD yet. So I do hold my hand in that position all the time.
Well, when I told the service division, they were bamboozled. They said they'd bring it in, we want to have a look. So you never know.
Tell them that Harold said he got it within 3 days of his first lap in each of those cars.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be there.
Yeah, but the only thing, Terry, is if they replace the trim, I bet everything that I've owned that it'll come right back because it's just what happens. That's the bad bit.
Good to see. Yeah, well, someone noticed it ahead of me. I thought, no, it's natural.
Yeah, I didn't think I ever bothered to take a photo of it, but no, seriously. On my blue Juniper, I got it after day 3. Not even. It wasn't even. Maybe it was the second day on my lap. I think I was, I don't know, on the way to Broome, and I noticed it. It forms very quickly.
Yeah, but my outer Y didn't do it. Didn't happen. And I had it for 2 years.
Yeah, I've had it on the Performance Y. I've had it on the standard range Y that James Maitland's got, and Pete Petrosky, I think, still has. I got that on my lap of that as well. Because my elbow does not move from that one position.
No,
It's
me
always
too.
exactly the same position.
So we're the only two that's happened to. No one
We're the
else.
two. We're the two idiots that listened to our fathers and took their advice.
Oh God.
Everyone else drives 2 and 10, don't they? That's how they drive. We just go 230 on the elbow. That's it, you know.
I've got my dents on top of my thighs because that's where I had the back of my hands.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right. Yeah, no.
But
no,
interestingly,
don't do
I developed that with FSD supervised.
Yeah.
And now that I'm driving autopilot again, I'm still doing it, still holding the steering wheel the same way.
Because with my autopilot, I do what Pete did. But then if I take it out of autopilot, I go back to the same as you guys.
Yeah.
On my long trips,
So that's why I
use-
don't have a
use the
jam, because I
Travelpillar.
don't have it all the time.
It's not what I wanted to hear, but I'm going to go and fight the fight.
That's
I use one of
right.
those little,
Life's too
micro
short.
bead.
Big shout out to the Tesla service guys. Don't listen to Terry. He's just trying to hoodwink you. It's a known issue.
Yeah. Take a 6-pack or something and then have a chat to them, you know?
I've even taken
Yeah.
a bottle of CCs. That's fine. A
But,
carton of
but
CCs.
the only thing, Terry, is like I said, even if they, for whatever reason, change your trim, I'll bet London to a brick it'll come right back if you do the same maneuver. It's just the way it's made.
Yeah, they like to see me complain anyhow, so give them something to do.
Well, I can ask you how your new screen's going if it's
It's
just
awesome.
as good as it
Yeah,
was.
after a while, you just see it a lot clearer. You don't
Yes.
worry about the size too much, but it's the clarity of it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
me, I
It's a
reckon
lovely
it's-
screen.
I reckon it's worth it. Yeah.
It is. It is.
They'll probably tell you it's a safety feature. It prevents your elbow sliding around and stops
good.
you losing
That's a good
control.
point. I mean, I
It's,
use that one.
Yeah.
They do it on purpose. Yeah.
Exactly.
I put someone's got a hand up, but I put a post in for my new idea of a Tesla accessory.
We're going to go straight to John in 2 seconds. I'm just going to click on this. Why is that not working? It is coming
That's
up. Oh, there it
cool.
is. Tesla elbow pad. Dents in the door armrest. Because your elbows have feelings, and so does your Tesla.
Patent pending.
Interesting.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Alrighty. John, you got your hand up.
Yeah. Previous episodes we've discussed the merit of having a grill on the front for air intake. But I wanted to discuss and just see what the thoughts are on some other accessories related to air intake. I've got, namely the first one is the air intake under the hood, which is for the air conditioning. I can put maybe an image in the chat.
No. Oh, yeah. Put in the chat. Yeah. I've never used one. Don't know if anyone else has.
I have.
Yep, I have.
Cool. And
I have.
have Mark and Mike and Steve found it useful, or is it just?
Yes. Mine was actually full of butterflies going around the lap, absolutely full of them. And those would have all been, remember you said you filled up near your fan one time by all the stuff going in that bottom intake and getting shoved through?
No, that's
No, Mark. No. He means the aircon intake, which is at the top part of. It's at the back part of your bonnet. So if you lift your bonnet up,
when I bought that, I bought one of those as well.
Yes, but did you find any detritus? Have you found anything?
No, I haven't really found much on that one at all. No, in all fairness.
Yep.
It wasn't expensive.
No, but that
I
front
didn't
one is
find
brilliant.
anything either.
I got mine as.
Steve?
John.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it didn't cost much, but I haven't found anything caught on it either. So $1 each way on that one.
Yeah.
I'd be
mine. I bought the bottom grill, but it was only a matter of about $10 extra, and you got that thrown in with it. So I got the two together.
So, John, it sounds like the consensus is it's nowhere near as useful, actually as
Yeah.
essential as the bottom one, as the main
Yeah.
intake, which is, I actually think I think Tesla should just have them as an accessory, full stop, because our cars, the 3 and the Y, are basically filter feeders, and all the air that goes through any object that goes along with it just gets filtered by the radiator and never leaves. It never goes. It stays there until it's manually
Yeah.
removed. And yeah, it's essential. But the aircon one at the top, at the back of the bonnet, much less essential.
Yeah. Can you see the image I've put up? Just for,
Yes, so
that everybody can see it.
just trying. Yeah.
The top one does depend on what vehicle you've got and how frequently you park under trees and such.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
And the second image I've put up is what they call a front trunk cowl, water seal, and hood. So it looks like it's like it bridges the gap between, like there's a opening in between on the left and the right, probably for the airflow to come in.
Yep.
Now,
Look,
I just wondered
know.
whether that would actually be a disadvantage and whether it actually would restrict, or even one or both of them would restrict the airflow. But its primary,
Look,
I guess, objective is to prevent leaves and water coming in. But or would that be a concern?
Look, there's no doubt that the bottom one, the main intake, not technically, actually does restrict the airflow by maybe, I don't know, 5%, maybe a little bit more. But it's vastly preferable to have a permanent 5% odd restriction on the front airflow than a cumulative up to 90% restriction over time, depending on circumstance. Look, those other two accessories, I'd be much more. Look, you can give it a crack. I don't even know if you'll know there's going to be much of a difference, to be honest, because the aircon system works in auto mode most of the time. So you probably hardly notice whether it's making its job harder or easier. Or look, I've never and the furthest I've driven in a car, except for the Model X, was my performance Model Y, and that's 194,000 Ks, and I've never seen any leaves or anything, insects, nothing at that top aircon intake.
No, we certainly get a lot of insects, not insects, just sort of debris from trees, like blossom, little bits and twigs, and they always seem to catch. They probably land on the windscreen and then sort of slide down and then sort of catching that sort of air intake sort of zone, probably before it gets into the bonnet. So I guess could they just make their way further towards the air
when you park,
air inlet?
If that makes sense.
Yeah, the only thing
when you're driving, it's going to go up the windscreen and over. But when you're parked, they can clip there where the wipers are, and then depending on the wind, they'll blow in. Now, in mine, I found quite a bit of pieces of bark and leaves down in that air intake, down the bottom of the elbow.
Down here.
And as Harold said, the reality is it's going to make stuff all different. It's just a tidiness thing if you're anally retentive like that. And I just put actually some stainless steel fly screen over mine and just bent it to shape. And that was that. And I have found a few leaves stuck in the top of it occasionally. So it's not a big deal. It depends how, as I say, keen you are to keep it clean.
I've had a lot of leaves in that area. But whether that screen would actually stop them going, well, it will stop them going in, but whether they'd fall in without it, I doubt it.
Yeah, mine did. There was quite a lot. There was a handful and some bark, if that makes sense, a fistful.
But were they going inside or were they just sat on top?
No, they were in down the tube. So, if you take so I've got a 22 Model 3, so it's a slightly different shape. But if you take that piece at the top off, not the whole trunk plastic, but just that top piece, then in that downward spout that leads into the air intake for the aircon, yeah, there was all leaves and stuff in the bottom.
Yeah, all right. In that case, it sounds like it is worthwhile getting one of
It
those. Then.
depends on where
And
you
it's-
park.
Yeah.
You know, my family keep parking under trees and stuff, despite telling them not to.
Yeah, but if
You
you're
know?
doing something like a lap, you haven't got the option sometimes.
Yes. But it's not,
Yeah,
as
right.
Harold said, it's not going to, there won't be enough in there to detract from your flow. So it's just
No,
whether you
probably not.
like to do it or not.
Cool. I'm not sure.
thanks.
Oh,
No
Trev
worries,
first.
John. Okay, go, Trev.
Just a couple of.
Oh, he picked
You
himself
just
up.
went. Yep.
Sorry?
Now you're back
I must
on.
have double tapped it. Just a couple of comments. First one is a bit of a brag, I suppose. Changed the tyres today, got 98,000 out of them. I was going to have a crack at 100 just to say that I did it, but unfortunately I had some bad news as well, which cut me short. We learned the hard way over the weekend through the storm that the Tesla has an active bonnet. And when my missus ran into a tree that just dropped on the road in front of her, it shot the bonnet up into the air and thinking that it was saving a pedestrian. So, yes, we've got to go up to Perth now to get that reset. But I was thinking that must happen a bit when people hit kangaroos. Would that be a pretty fair assumption?
Don't know, Trev. I firstly hope the missus was all right, and no doubt she was.
Yeah,
She's in the safest car on earth, so
scared the shit out of her, but no,
yeah,
she's fine.
no doubt. So when I hit a cow, that would have been a classic time for the bonnet doodad to go off, but the classic Y Performance didn't have those bonnet pyrotechnics, so don't know yet. In fact, actually, on that image that was shown there, it's actually right there. You can see it right there. So do definitely report back once you find out how much that cost.
Yeah, I've
because
just put a couple photos up in the chat.
Oh, you're sorry. You got crappy internet there, Trev.
I've got videos, but it won't let me put it in the chat. But yeah, if you want to have a look.
I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it yet. It might still be propagating.
Okay.
But once it comes through, I think this is whose site? Who put up the Model Y? Oh no, that would be James. No, who put up this image? That was just as an aside to the cover.
Yes. James.
James.
Yeah.
That's why you need that filter. Because every one of those butterflies would have just been on the just covering your aircon. Your main radiator. And it's just a matter of time before it gets fully clogged, especially butterflies, because they're almost like the perfect shade cover for your intake. So Trev, oh, hang on. No, we do. Oh, there we go. That photo, and then we're going to go that photo. Oh, geez, that was a pretty minor impact. Bloody hell. That's a bummer. So yeah, you can see basically what it does is it sort of latches apart and pops up. But geez, there's not much front damage. It's a little bit there, I guess.
It's hard to see, yeah, on the other side. It's actually punctured through the bonnet, through the bumper, and it's crushed all the foam behind it. Maybe broken a couple of screws for the radiator.
Yeah, right.
So
that's the tree.
So I had to race back down there with a chainsaw, and by the time I got down there, someone else had hit it. So yeah, we got it off the road. But yeah, she's I've got the videos, and there was virtually no warning. The emergency braking went off immediately, but there was debris all across the road from where it exploded when it hit the road, so she couldn't really avoid it.
No, trees are buggers, and you can see that tree was an old one.
Yeah, and she'd gone through there 11 minutes earlier, and there was nothing on the road, and she'd picked something up from the shops, turn around and hit it.
Bloody hell. Yep. Skinny road too. Well, not a wide verge shoulder. Oh, that's a bummer. So yeah, so you're up for those two pyrotechnic doodads. So that they're basically miniature airbags. They've got the same sort of thingy inside that pops them up to basically, as you can see on the image, it pops the bonnet up so that when a pedestrian hits their legs and then slaps their torso and head, it's much more spongy because it's got more give.
You're riding on the suspension rather than sitting on hinges.
Yeah. Yep. So basically your head will sort of smack into the metalwork and dent it, but it'll have room to give. It's got that, a few extra inches of give.
Yeah, it's about one inch of play in it by hand.
Yeah. And I believe these things you just reset manually. You can just I think there might be like little knobs that sort of just resets back in, I think.
The detonators won't release back down, so I think they need to be replaced. And then the hinges need to be removed off the bonnet because there's actually fingers that go through a little slot and they normally stay inside the slot. But once the detonators go on, it forces them to come out.
Yes, so they can't reset back. Yeah.
No, you take the hinge off, push it back through the fingers, and then bolt it back down again.
Yep.
But the hinge stayed connected at the front. The latch stayed connected at the front, so it's still been drivable. So I ran it down. I thought I was going to get 2,000 extra Ks on the tyres to say so, but decided I'm going to change the tyres just in case the assurance gets a whiff that there's a little bit of a scuff on the inside.
So is the bonnet okay? Bonnet was okay.
I drove it today. I got it up to 100 Ks, just made sure everything stays together. And just because I got to take it up to Bibra Lake from Bunbury to get it fixed. So I was looking at whether I towed it or drove it. And the manual said that a lot of cars can be driven to the nearest service centre.
Yeah.
As long as there's no other injuries to the car. So.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's pretty impressive. And pretty funky looking. People will be going, what's wrong with that electric car? Can't even keep its bonnet down.
Coming out of the tyre shop today, everyone was like, do I tell that guy that his bonnet's up or not?
You go, no, mate, it's all good, it's latched.
Yeah. What bonnet? What are you talking about?
If this happens in the middle of nowhere, miles from anywhere, can you manually remove the detonators and put the bonnet back down to safely get back? Or is that...
I don't think you could. Well, you could probably do some MacGyver work on it if you had to, but the way it drove today going to and from the tyre shop, I wouldn't be concerned if I had to drive it for 400 or 500 Ks to get it to somewhere else. It is very stable. I've tried pushing and pulling on it before I drove it. And yeah, I think as long as the front didn't dislodge that latch assembly, then I think you'd be fine to drive it as it is.
Yeah, and if you had like a angle grinder or something, a battery powered one, you could probably just cut the
you could probably
top of
bend
this.
it if you had to that longer finger. If you bent that straight down, it would go past.
Yeah, you'd have to bend it out so it then goes under here, doesn't it? It goes on the outside,
that's what it wants to do. And then the bracket that's broken on the right hand side, they're just aluminium rivets, but pretty decent sized ones because I found them in the front.
Yeah, right. Oh, I gotcha. So that's actually that's retained by a rivet that is frangible. Yeah.
Yeah, about 6 mil or 7 mil rivets, aluminium rivets, and they've just sheared off.
Yep. Done their job.
Yeah. You can just see just next to that long finger, there's a little bit of chrome, which is the detonator. That shot that's broken.
Just there.
That's it.
Yeah,
that fires up and breaks the hinge. It took the paint off where it hit.
Yep. Wow. I mean, the good thing, it's still a shame that you had damage at all, but what a great demonstration of what it does without actually hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good image. That's very cool. Alrighty. Paul, you got your hand up, and then we're going to welcome someone new to the hoose.
That sounds good.
Paul.
Yeah, I was going to say I felt like Russell last week, not being here and then watching it the next day. I was hearing my name in vain.
Did you get frustrated? Did you go?
There was a couple of things where I was like, no, that's not right. But anyway, it was quite funny. I was thinking, I'm Russell.
That's Russell's every Thursday morning.
Exactly.
Oh, you idiot! You said this, and you should have said that, and whatever.
But I was going to say Starlink's brilliant. We had the storms and shit, and it worked really well. So, the brick didn't fly off the roof or any of that sort of shit. So, it was really good. I was pretty
Yeah,
impressed with it all.
I meant to ring my kid at my mother's house and see if the Starlink that was just sitting on its tripod on the pergola moved. He didn't ring me to say the internet's not working very well, and it's like, yeah, maybe you should turn the Starlink upright, and it might
Maybe.
work better.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I was going to bring up with ComSec with the SpaceX IPO coming up. I got an email saying that they're going to be the guys running the IPO for Australia.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I thought you meant
I
an email today.
Yeah.
No.
Changed that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. So, you
Sounds
have
like-
to have an
Sounds
international.
like ComSec is the lead manager, but there's another
the lead
3 or
manager
4
sort of-
other. Yeah.
But you have to have the international account, so you got to fill out forms and stuff. It doesn't take too long,
So-
but if you're gonna do it, it's probably gonna be next week anyway. Sorry,
So
go.
what I found out yesterday was it actually takes a surprisingly short amount of time to get a international ComSec account, because I've got no ComSec account whatsoever. When you go on their website, it sort of says we'll start from your phone, and that process was surprisingly painless. So you just download. This is for anyone who's interested in general or in particular for SpaceX or anything else. I mean, as a matter of fact, Anthropic has released their submitted their confidential S1 form, which is some American IPO form, to the Securities Commission in the last 24 hours, I think. So the way you do it, if you're interested in getting a ComSec account, is you just download first thing you do is download the CommBank app, and then you register. If you haven't got a Commonwealth Bank account, you register and get whatever that reference number is. Then you can get the ComSec app, and you can log in the ComSec app with your Commonwealth Bank user number and password. And then you say you want to set up a share trading account, and that's pretty easy. You either use your passport or your driver's license. You enter in all the details from your mobile phone app, and it'll actually get you to take a selfie using the phone to verify that the image is you. That worked really well. Then you got to, because you want then you got to apply for an international trading account, and for that you need to do a tax declaration, mainly for America, I think. And that one was one I had a little bit of trouble with, whereby it had all this palaver. Then it said, "Do you agree?" And by basically pressing the button, which is in a web page inside your phone, because it jumps out of the app, press the button, the screen just went white, like just a plain screen. And then I kind of tapped it again, and then that same page came back with the same button to press to confirm you agree. And I pressed it again, screen went blank, and then it rinsed and repeated several times. And then I kind of went, oh, this isn't working. I kind of got out of that. I thought I'll try it on my PC instead. And then the PC said, sorry, we can't verify you using this means, or something like that. And then I went back to my phone, and it said the same thing. And then I went, oh, bloody hell. So I rang the helpline, and it said, oh, we have greater than usual inquiries at the moment. This phone call will take 30 minutes. So then I went for a drive somewhere north. I forget where it was. Oh, yeah, it was Aussie Park. And finally got through. And I said, look, I'm having problems getting this international thing happening. And the lady said, oh, just refresh your screen. And I did, and it was there. So it had worked the first time. It's just a little glitch. So that's a very long way of saying, if you don't have a ComSec account or an international one, it only takes a matter of minutes to get one if you want. And what the lady said on the other line was, you don't need funds in your account to apply for shares, but you obviously do need the funds in your account to get them once they've been approved. And Paul, I don't know if you've got any not inside information, but I think it'll take a few days between applying and getting a result, won't it? Surely it'll take some time.
Yeah. Who knows when we're going to find out about it all? Because, SpaceX did on their S1, they did an amendment.
Yes.
Today. So I think hopefully that's the last amendment. So then hopefully at least by next week we should have the prospectus.
There's
prospectus.
There's not much time because they're supposed to be listing on the 12th of June, aren't they?
I know.
Yep.
So,
in about 11 days.
The Australian prospectus it hasn't even been lodged with ASIC as yet.
No.
So, it's going to be like a week to apply for shares, to find out how many you got, and then transfer your funds and have them take your funds, have the funds clear, and get confirmation that you got shares in the IPO. Yeah.
The CommSec app and stuff is very quick. It's a lot better than the old days, which used to take 2 weeks to do anything. And now it's just good.
It's very fast. So there you go. So as far as whether it's a good idea to buy shares or not, none of this is financial advice. Me personally, I thought, I wasn't going to buy any any SpaceX shares, but I thought I might get some for fun, even though me personally, I believe that the same amount of money put into Tesla shares at the same time would probably get a better result in the short term. But that's only my personal feeling based on nothing in particular. But still, SpaceX will be going to the moon literally and metaphorically and beyond. Literally in rockets and probably in market cap eventually. But, that's only a personal opinion and not financial advice. And it's going to be the biggest IPO in history. So they're going to float approximately 4% of their market cap, which is probably one of the thinner IPOs as well, or maybe it's not, but 4%, about $75 billion on a market cap approaching $2 trillion. So there you go. Welcome back, Jared, in the hoose.
How you going?
All right. You're gonna buy some SpaceX shares, Jared?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one yet. So no, I'm not. I'd rather just stick my money back into Tesla, I think, at the moment.
Possibly a good move. Possibly a good move.
Yeah.
Have you been fishing, Jared? It's a long time since you've been.
Yeah, been fishing. Yes, that's it, fishing. I'm a big fisherman, Carmen, very big fisherman. There you go.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Very good. Very good. One of the things is people are talking about is that at the moment in SpaceX, Elon Musk has 82% of the vote in SpaceX, and in Tesla he has less than 20% at the moment, and I think it's going to increase if all the tranches of the 2025 CEO compensation plan are achieved within the next several years. I think it's next 5 years or so, or maybe it's 10, I can't remember. Then his control of Tesla voting shares could go up as much as approaching 30%. So there's sort of talk or speculation that, maybe SpaceX will merge with Tesla, and whether or not that's a merger of equals or whatever. The only one thing, as a person of my age who is similarly aged to Elon Musk, is the only risk I see at all. There's no risk with Elon Musk having voting control of any company that he has built, because he is really the most key person to the entire thing. My only slight thought was that if Elon Musk was to die or become incapacitated, what would happen to those voting rights, and how would they pass on to his successors, and who has control of what those successors do, and who are they, and how does that get handled?
So I think I think he addressed this at some point a couple of years ago when people started talking about key man risk, etc. And he basically said that a successor has been identified but has not been made public.
No. Sorry, Pete. I don't mean
Oh, you mean his
professional
his voting
successor? No.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't mean his professional successor.
Right.
I mean who inherits his shares, his voting shares, his super
you
voting shares.
You would
If
think,
it's his kids, I'd be concerned.
yeah, no, you would think it would be whoever the successor is for Tesla or SpaceX, whoever the nominated successors are.
No,
I don't
It'd
know.
go to your
No, because it would go to his
not-
beneficiaries in his will.
Yeah.
And then the point is, if it was under Australian law, we know that no matter what you write in your will, that's only a serving suggestion, because ultimately it is something contestable in a court of law, and it is the courts that will decide ultimately upon objections of like WA, there is a succession law, a inheritance law, and it has certain guiding principles, children, blah, 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 spouses, second wives, etc.,
But it
etc.
doesn't matter what it is in Australia. What is it in the US?
Precisely. So what I'd like to know, and I'm not trying to be negative, please don't think I'm being negative. And like I said, Musk is similarly aged to me, so I don't care if he dies the day after me or the week or a year before me, because hopefully we'll both be old and it won't matter, because in 20 years' time, Tesla would have X number of bagged from today's levels, and it doesn't really matter. My only slight concern is Elon Musk, sadly, is one bullet or one stroke or one heart attack away from not being in control of his shares. And my only question is, who gets the control, not so much of the ordinary shares, of the super voting shares?
The voting
And that's
rights,
something,
basically.
the voting rights. Because in
And so
SpaceX, he has
so-
82% of those rights.
Yeah, so I would think it would be logical that those, in his will, he would have something to say that those voting rights go to whoever is made the successor, and the successor has already been named, but hasn't been named so publicly. And he said for obvious reasons, because they would be headhunted. So
Yeah, that's my only question is, if it was to be that those super voting rights upon his demise get diluted, and then some of them pass on to his legal successors, his familial or whatever you want to call it, inherited successors, then that's fine. But I'd be concerned if, I don't know how many children does he have, and how many of them are entitled
14.
to? Well, maybe 14. You could have a board.
It was 12. God, he's a busy boy.
no, it's up to 14 now.
Jeez.
Yeah, so look, if it was 14, you could say that would be a mini separate board but I mean, some of these are infants and toddlers and children. I mean, not adults. So anyway, that's my only wrinkle is,
Well, you would
with
you would
this-
think logically he would have set it up the way he would want it to be set up. So if he was, we know what he wants, him as being at the helm of Tesla and SpaceX. The CEO of SpaceX is
Gwen Shotwell.
Gwen Shotwell.
Chief Operating Officer.
Yeah, CEO. So, but so he would want it to be set up for the new successor the way he wants it set up now. So you would think those voting rights would go to the successor, because that's what he
Yeah, but
wants now.
where's
and
the
that's what he would-
documentation? Where's that's where
none of these. Well, not even the successor has been made public, and they said
no,
they're not going
no.
to make them public.
Yeah, okay. I just think I would be look, Elon Musk could get assassinated tonight.
Mm.
It's not unplausible, because look at the current president has had multiple assassination attempts.
At least 3 or 4 now. Yeah. So
Yeah,
lose
so
count.
so Elon Musk, people die suddenly in their 50s of either, lead poisoning or heart attacks or strokes and
Strokes.
other things. Yeah. And that's my only concern is what could possibly happen. It'd be great if that was publicly stated, because it is a concern that not Elon Musk, but his successors, being familial successors determined by a court of law, ultimately, have super duper voting majority over SpaceX. That's my only concern. And that's my irrational personal concern, notwithstanding I'm a similar age to Musk. So if he dies at a similar time to me, then I won't literally care, because it won't matter. But, if you're a lot younger, if you're a 20-year-old, you definitely know that by the time you're in middle age, Elon Musk will be dead. He's not going to live forever, because that hasn't been cracked yet.
Well, but just because it hasn't been cracked yet doesn't mean it's not going to be cracked in 10 or 20 years' time.
He's not exactly the fittest cat in the fittest dog in the kennel. Just quietly.
He told Ron Barron that he reckons it'll be cracked, Pete.
Neuralink might actually suck his brain out, and he'd actually put it into a Optimus.
Muskie in a bottle. Muskie in an Optimus.
Yeah,
yes.
Precisely.
Well, Damo, they reckon that already for every 12 months of time that passes, the advances in AI and medicine and surgical procedures and what have you, and life extension, mean that for every 12 months that passes, there's something like, 13 months of, like the advances contribute to 13 months of extra life for the average person. So essentially for every 12 months, you're really now only aging 11 months on average, as far as the population is concerned. And that will accelerate. And I forget who it was that, I forget who it was who forecast or predicted that by 2035, that 11 months was going to be down to like 1 or 2 months. So for every 12 months that you age, you're really only aging 1 or 2 months, because for every 12 months that you age, you're adding, I don't know how many years to your expected life, to your life expectancy. So
yeah, and they're sort of talking in terms of you might be able to achieve effectively escape velocity, whereby the rate at which they reverse aging is faster than you age, so therefore you go backwards, or you don't age any further. So then you might live forever, which would be worse, because then you'd be scared of walking across the street for want of dying by accident, because you can still be killed by being blown up or get lead poisoning or other things.
Is that high velocity lead poisoning?
Yes, that is exactly high velocity lead poisoning. Yes, that's true. Yes. That is with elemental lead, not lead oxides or whatever you call it. Lead. What was it? Lead in petrol? Yeah, whatever. Lead carbonate or something. Anywho, but yeah, anyway, that was my only concern of a super duper voting majority, is not what Muskie does with his shares or with his companies for that matter, because he is singularly driven. He's always said he wants to just be as useful to humanity as useful as possible during his life. And that's a very honourable thing. I'm just concerned personally as what might happen afterwards, because no matter what Muskie, if it all gets down to what happens at the process of inheritance, then that is not actually of his control, because by definition, the states will have very similar laws to us, which is the court will ultimately decide. And we all know what courts can do. Anywho, but yes, so SpaceX, it'll be not next week's episode, but the one after, I guess, it'll be all done. Yeah.
I think it's Friday next week. Saturday next week.
Yes, which Larry Goldberg said that a Friday is the very worst day to have an IPO. The best day is actually a Tuesday, because it gives you 3 clear trading days after the IPO for the markets to sort of settle down. He goes, the Monday is usually not good. There was some technical reason because the market on a Monday is kind of directionless because it's had the weekend off and it doesn't really know what its trend is. So Tuesday's the best day, Wednesday's a good day, Thursday's not that great, and Friday's terrible. So according to Larry Goldberg, who's done launched 3 IPOs, he said that, yeah, he didn't believe that Friday would be the day. So then I presume that means things are more likely to get delayed than come early. So maybe
Hopefully.
it'll be later on. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Alrighty. At about 3/4 into this program, I think that's right. Maybe it's more than that. I think it's 7/4, 7/8, sorry, of this program. If we got any sort of like 7/4 divided by 2, 7/4 divided by 2. That's probably right. We got any closing-ish questions or comments? Or anyone that might be curious about anything else or whatever else that's happened?
Just a quick one.
Yes, Mark.
Tyre wear.
Yes,
What's
tyres do.
people's experience with tyre? Because it looks like I've gone through my rear too in 24,000 on the inside edge again.
Well, so you've got a Juniper.
You've
You've got the same Juniper
June last year. And I've done under 25,000, and apparently my inside edges are getting pretty close to being worn through.
So, Mark,
and I had the world trekking before I went.
Didn't you have that problem, Howard?
So, I sold my Glacier Blue Juniper the day I got my Model YL. It had done 56,000 kilometers. It had never had its wheels rotated, nor its wheel alignment checked at all. And I was shocked at how much meat was left on all the tires. I was literally, in fact, I just wonder if I'll just see if I've got those images. I don't. I was gobsmacked at how good they were. I'll see if I can very quickly bring them up. So you've got an anomaly because you've got exactly the same car I had, Mark. And
well, mine's just a few months younger, but it's the same generation of the Model Y.
Oh, so yes, younger. Yes. So yours is a launch edition.
No, it's not launch edition. Mine's June 25. Yours was late 24, was it?
I'm pretty. No. It was June. I got it in the end of May, 2025.
Oh, right. So mine's June 2025.
Yeah. No, if yours is not the launch edition, it'll be a bit older.
Yeah.
I think because there was a time when you could only get the launch.
Yes, you got the launch, and mine was the first of the non-launch.
But I'm
yours will be younger, not older.
Yeah, younger. And I'm just trying to find my tires. I was shocked, Mark. I was truly.
I've got loads of meat on them. If I put my fingers through, they could loads of meat. But apparently, the inside edges of them are actually getting quite worn. Not the inside, the inside. You have to put your hands right inside.
So I'm going to upload this. I'll just be 2 seconds. But I was convinced because I'd done 56,000 Ks, driven around Australia twice, and so all on the same roads you've been on, Mark. Well, most of the same roads, and they were in such good condition. I reckon I could probably eke out close to 100, certainly 90, easy peasy, and that's without even rotating them. So I would get your wheel alignment checked.
Well, they had to check before we went.
What did they change it though? Who did it? Was it Tesla or someone else?
No, it was Bossett Tyre Power in Joondalup. And they checked. I got them to check the tyre thing, and I rotated them just before I went, just in case.
The only thing I'm going to say is, look, if the tyres are wrecked, I'd take it to Tesla and get them to do the alignment,
Yeah.
because I was shocked, because I believed that the rear camber was fixed and unadjustable, and that is what it is, basically,
Yeah.
pretty much. And I know people like Tyre Power will do things like they'll give the backs a little bit of extra toe in to try and roll the tyres so that you compensate for the inner wear, because it
Yeah.
kind of tries to put that wear to the outside. But I should have these images up in 2 seconds, and I just couldn't believe how good these tyres were, and
Right.
they weren't the factory tyres. They were the Hankook Ion
Yeah, Hankook. That is
Evo Ion AS.
Yeah, they were actually designed for this this car, the Juniper.
It was.
Yeah, but I put the different
yes.
wheels on though. I put the
right.
classic Model Y Apollo wheel caps and stuff. They were different tyres.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
I
I've got
think
the Hankooks that came with the car.
yes, but I had no sign of inner wear. I'm just trying to get this thing to update. Sorry, it's just taking a little bit of time. Just bear with me for a second. Downloaded to oh, here we go, 58 seconds ago. Sorry, Windows is just a pain. But yeah, I get tested to check it out just in case.
Yeah.
Because my experience was completely different. While I'm doing that, yeah, anyone else got any other questions or comments before we wrap this?
I must admit that Tesla haven't really changed their high standards of delivery. After speaking to the management of O'Connor, they were telling me that my car is coming in September the 16th, and it's still coming on September the 16th. And then a gentleman asked me today, he said, "When's your car coming, Jared?" And I said, "Oh, hang on, let me just check the app. I'm pretty sure it's the 16th. And then on the app, it had changed to in 29 days, actually 25 days. So
very
it's coming
good.
now 25 days. That's, of course, it's coming from Germany, so it's having to stop at a few other countries and go through the strait and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
So Jared, that will get it in this quarter if that's still what they do for reporting sales.
That's exactly why I'd say it's coming, because when I spoke to them on Monday, it wasn't coming till September the 16th. But now it's coming on in 29 days or 25 days. So
oh, that's cool.
Have
you got your
Jared,
yeah?
What are you getting?
Performance Model Y.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, silver, the silver color.
Oh, the Quicksilver?
That's wicked, Jared.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, very excited. Very excited. I've been waiting since March. So,
such a long time to wait.
I know, it's crazy. It's spent something like, I don't know, 50 days on the boat. I don't know where it went, but maybe they do a banana run. They drop off bananas and other stuff.
Yeah, they probably went to the Dutch East India Company and got some some spices, and then went back the other way, and had to set sail for a bit. And
when my car left, because they told me it's left, I think they just were designing the Model Y, my YL.
Yes,
Your
yeah.
So they're great.
These are the wheels. You can see these are the Gemini. So the Apollo rims, which have the Gemini wheel caps. This is the driver's side rear, and that's the inner one.
Bloody hell.
It's like I was shocked, and then the next image that's the left rear, and again, just look at even on the edge.
Yeah,
it's just, and this is after 56,000 kilometers. This is the front. I mean, just look at that. It's like the front's like it's untouched. And
you know why that is, Harold? Because you've been driving on FSD supervised the whole time.
No, I wasn't on the first lap. No, not the first lap, Pete. And the original ones, Mark, were the Michelins.
Yeah.
So these are the factory ones I took off on the second day I got the car. I took them off, put them in storage, put my old Apollo rims on with brand new Hankook Ion AS. But that's the condition after 56,000 Ks never being rotated. So if I did a sneaky and I've actually put these backwards on the rims, I'd easily get 100,000 Ks on them. Easy peasy. I mean, look how much meat there is. It's just ridiculous.
Remember, Harold, you only do clockwise laps. So why don't you do
I should go anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
And undo all the damage. That's right. In fact, if I go backwards, I'll probably pick up all the rubber as well.
Yeah.
Well, I've done 48,000 and I've only had 2 tyres changed. I have to do the other 2 this year.
Ah, yes.
And then Michelin. So
the thing is,
I
Michelin's. Yeah, sorry, go, Carmen.
No, I only did 2 last year because they said it was okay till this year.
Yeah. Michelin's have got a great reputation of being very safe tyres. They're very sticky and grippy. But one of the penalties you pay for that is they do wear a little bit faster than some of the harder tyres. But yeah, that's still great. Like I said, I was personally shocked because in my experience, my Performance Model Y, the old one, was so bad I resorted to getting a camber kit for the back because I was just sick of having tyres worn out to nothing. In fact, I've got an image of a New Zealand hire car I had that these are the photos taken on the car itself.
Did you end up getting your money, Harold, out of them?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did in the end. Okay, this was the New Zealand hire car. That was one tyre. So that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
And then all these images are taken on the tyre. That's another one. And then that's the third one. And then that's the fourth one.
Sure.
So the inners, it's the classic on the inners. It just strips out to the point where one of these tyres was slowly deflating. Probably because one of the snapped off steel belts was poking into the bladder. And then basically it was just deflating one of the tyres. So that's my experience with the classic Model Ys. But yeah, Mark, it's such a shame that I get tested
I only
to
found
check
out
the
because I got a puncture, and it was picked up a text screw, and when they actually said it said you're getting really worn down on the inside edge of those rears. When they feel it, it feels all right, but when you look,
yeah.
Jared, what are you doing with the car you have?
I sold it just when the fuel prices went crazy. I got a really good deal. So
yeah.
Also,
What model did you have?
Model 3 Performance.
Performance and
2021.
Can you share how much you sold that for?
47,000.
And what year?
2021.
Because my insurer says that my car, which is 2020,
Yeah.
is worth 18,000.
Yeah, I think with these red book, black book, all these different kind of books, you get all kinds of speculation. I was just lucky. I think I was.
That's a very good price.
Yeah, well, I had dealers ringing me up, offering me 25,000, 30,000, one of them. Just all these dealers ring you up constantly. And then I had a guy ring me up and said, look, I'll give you 47,000 for it. And I said, yep, no worries. And I had it advertised for 43, so I was a bit confused why he offered me 47, but I wasn't, okay, that's what you're going to pay, no worries.
Yeah, well.
And that's what we sold. Yeah, I mean, the fuel was going crazy. And Pete was predicting doom and gloom for the world, and I was backing him.
And how many Ks?
I can't remember. I think it was 25.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't many. 20, maybe 25, 30, maybe. Real low. Yeah. And it was immaculate. It wasn't a scratch on it. Had a beautiful.
Still good. It's still very good.
Yeah, it's cost me about $30,000 in fuel to run my Hilux for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But I can't wait for my car to come back, my new car. So.
Yeah, but Jared, those volatile organic compounds, as you're filling it up and you're getting all the diesel fumes and the petrol fumes, it's just great. You know, you know you're alive when you're slowly marinating to death.
I think the real thing is when you get to go to Atlas Fuel and you get in the line of 6,000 cars because it's 4 cents cheaper. I love working with people, and the bonding that you create with people in that environment is just fantastic. And the way they get to express their feelings to the attendant behind the counter, it's so welcoming, So
Yeah.
I hope I never go to a petrol station again, but I can see me doing it again. But yeah, and it's and the prices between here and up the road and in the middle of up towards Geraldton and past Geraldton and Northampton, it just goes up by 80 cents. It's just crazy. So.
Yeah. So apart from carsales.com, if you wanted to buy,
that's how I put my car on carsales.com.
Yeah, but if you wanted to buy one at a good price for all my huge amount of grandkids, all wanting to buy cars, where would you go?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm really not
I'm
sure.
talking about a Tesla.
Yeah,
don't discount going to Tesla themselves.
Okay.
They often have relatively good pricing these days, because what they'll do is they'll buy it off. They'll take in a trade-in, and if that trade-in, let's say, has had FSD purchased on it and it's traded in with it, they'll take it off, but they'll just give you enhanced autopilot. Or vice versa. If it's come in with no FSD on it, they'll add enhanced autopilot. So that means that if you do subscribe to FSD, rather than paying the $150 a month, you pay about half of that, $75 a month, because it's worth, it was worth roughly about $5,000 when it was available. So they do, it doesn't cost them anything, but it gives you a little bit of extra value.
Okay.
They also do I don't know how many points safety check, and they say they only take on the better cars. If they're no good, they sell them in the wholesale market to other dealers or what have you. So, worthwhile having a look.
If they're talking about 20,000 for 2020, why buy anything else?
Tesla offered me, I think it was 33,000.
Okay.
For my car, which I thought was,
bit low.
Too low, way too low. But of course, 3 weeks later the world went volatile with fuel. So I was just a lucky time. I mean, I probably would have ended up getting 40, maybe 38 for my car. That's probably where I thought it was probably going to end up. But I was just lucky. That's all. It's all it was. Just a case of fuel was going crazy. Everyone's buying BYDs. It's going through the roof, and that was it. So,
so at the moment, for Model 3s, there are 3 in as certified pre-owned, varying from 47,000 up to 58.
That's a bit high.
Yeah, so 47 is the lowest they've got for a 2022.
None of those prices really grab me.
No.
I want to look for something in the 20s.
Oh, you're not going to get a Tesla in its 20s.
You don't want a Tesla that's advertised for $20,000, Carmen.
No.
35 is probably the lowest you'll pay for a Model 3 that's, a 2021. If that, just jump on car sales and have a look.
So why are the insurers saying that that's all mine's worth?
That's what insurers do classically, Carmen. They charge you a lot in premiums and reduce down the so-called market price. And also the market price is, like Jared was alluding to, it's based on Red Book, but that is old data because you've got a war on, and you've got a fuel crisis, and you've got a an exponentially increasing number of people that are interested in buying an EV are sick of petrol cars and in particular diesel vehicles, and they're all jumping onto EVs because that was that last little line of resistance they had to just overcome, and they're all clamoring for them. So there's an artificially higher price on EVs now, unfortunately. So now is the perfect time to sell your second-hand EV. It's certainly not the perfect time to buy one. The new price hasn't gone up, but unfortunately the second-hand price has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Relatively.
So, but I wanted to have it insured for not market value, but for set value, agreed value.
Yes.
They wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, then change insurer, Carmen. So most insurance companies, that would be RAC, I presume. No?
Yeah, doesn't like
Well,
that.
no, I went from the one that Tesla used.
Zurich?
I had the online one, Budget Direct, and then I went to Zurich because Budget Direct increased exponentially. And then Zurich was reasonable. And then they said they didn't want to be in the market or in that market anymore for Teslas. So then I went to NRMA. So that's the last one I'm with.
So, Carmen, I just had a look on car sales, and I stand corrected. I found, admittedly not in WA, in Queensland, but I found
one of my kids is going to Bond, so that's all right.
Okay, so that's a 2021 Model 3.
Yep.
130,000 kilometres on it for 26,500.
Wow, there you go.
And I know they're cheaper in Queensland, but
that's pretty much the cheapest. Sorry, there's one car for 26,400, but it's a 2019 with 153. But those are the two cheapest Teslas in Australia.
Okay.
And in WA, you've got, this is some price low to high. So you've got a 2020 Model 3 for 31, another one for 33.
Yeah.
You can see the kilometres, 99 or 100,000 and, 83 odd. And then you go into 34s or 35 grand. So they're around. I'd say the mid 30s is probably more of a realistic
price.
thing.
Yeah. And you probably don't want more than 100,000 Ks, would you?
It's not necessarily the case. Yeah.
To be honest, it doesn't matter, Carmen. It's less important. I try and get I prefer a younger car. What's Tesla's warranty on the battery?
8 years.
80,000.
8 years.
No, in the battery.
It's not 80. It's 192.
No, 192 is on the NCA. On the LFPs, it's 160 something.
Okay, so Carmen, if you could get, I would generally prefer a younger car that's done slightly more Ks than an older one that's done less Ks.
Right.
It sort of depends, really. But if you can get anything that's not much more than 100,000 Ks, you've got safely between another 60 or 90,000 Ks of battery warranty.
Okay.
And let's face it, a lot of people struggle to do 60,000 Ks in several years.
Yeah.
So the thing too is you shouldn't think of the car of a second-hand Tesla as the final car you'll ever have. It's a consumable item, and it's saving money every day in fuel cost, and it's a very safe car. So even the oldest Model 3 is basically as safe as the youngest Model 3, and really, let's say the crappiest Tesla is safer than the best brand new car that you can buy that's not a Tesla. So,
but on the warranty, I think, isn't it 10 years or 100 and something? Whichever.
That's only on the new cars, Carmen. That's only as of January this year, I think.
Oh, okay.
But Carmen, if you're looking at 21 Model 3s,
Yep.
there was a period from about, I think it might have been September, October, November, December. So the last 3 or 4 months of the year, when you can get what I call unicorns because Tesla was transitioning from a faster, older motor to a newer, slower motor and to a slightly larger battery. But during the last 3 months or so of 2021, the cars still had the older, faster motor, but the bigger battery. So you kind of got the best of both worlds during that transition
Mine was
period.
December, and that was the case, that one.
Yeah.
December 21.
Yeah.
Early December.
I've got one of those as well, and mine was delivered in December, but I think was manufactured, or I'd have to have a look, can't remember now. Might have been September, October, something like that, or November. Yeah.
But in any case, you don't want a car that's necessarily much greater than 100,000 Ks.
No.
Initially, unless it's really cheap. But look, anything you get for grandies, it's one of the world's safest cars.
Yes.
They'll be saving money from day one because there's no servicing. Not to say there's nothing ever has to be fixed, but it's very, very minor, and it's super safe.
Yes. Well, one of them is doing medicine, so he's going to be poor for about 10 years, and and he does have to do the Gold Coast Highway all the time.
Yep.
So
it'd be a perfect car.
It wouldn't be such a bad thing for him, and he's a very good driver. He's had license for a couple of years. So
look, anyone that buys a close relative a Tesla of any kind is doing them a big favor. So, but yeah, definitely don't discount Eastern States cars, because that market is a lot more competitive than WA. WA is a smaller market, really.
I had dealers bringing me from Sydney and Melbourne. So,
me too. I put the price up for my car because I was annoyed with all these dealers going, I'll give you as many dollars as kilometres you've done in your car, because I've done 56,000 Ks. And I went, well, you live in Wodonga. I will drive my car to Wodonga, and by the time I get there, it'll have 65,000 Ks, which is how many dollars I want, you idiot. And I ended up selling it later that evening.
No, it doesn't matter where it is, because this kid's, like the holidays. They would drive. They wouldn't worry about going from Queensland to Melbourne or Sydney. And one of them, their father does business in Sydney, so he would meet him there anytime and work it out.
Just with the agreed value, Carmen was saying she had a really low one, was quite surprised. We just had our renewal with Shannon's come through, and I was shocked on ours. They put the agreed value down. I think it was 67,000, and the car was only worth 72 when it was new. So for a $200 increase to the premiums, I'll take that. And
well, I paid 80 for mine.
But you paid it just before they put the price down, Carmen.
Yes, I'm very annoyed. But I called Shannon's originally, and they drilled me about being a suitable client, because they wanted to know if I was an aficionado and I was going to join their club and all this rubbish. And I said, well, what's that to you? Do you want the deal or not? He said, oh, well, we're not an ordinary insurer.
No.
And I said, so? So they actually went keen to insure to me. I never met them. I only talked to someone on the phone. So I don't know where they got that from.
I think they're more of a motor enthusiastic company.
Yeah, they said that.
They want.
That sounds like Shannon's a bloke's name, and Shannon's there in the back going, hey, do we want to let Carmen into our exclusive club?
Yes. No, it was very much like that. And they asked me where I was going to drive and how long, and did I? And I said,
you should have said, I'm going to go and drive with Damo at the drag, and they would have said, you're in straight away.
I'll say Harold, because he drives more.
No, you should have said, I'm just going to go to the local drags and only do a quarter of a mile at a time, just at full throttle.
I said, you know what? Let's not bother. I'll go elsewhere. Thank you. And
yes. Dear
they sort of thought I wasn't going to be suitable to represent them as an insurer.
Oh, they only want esteemed customers to have prangs in cars to get them fixed and written off. Dearie me.
Maybe,
All right.
maybe because you're not a male, Carmen. Maybe
Oh
that
yes,
may
I
have
know, I know.
had something to do
They
with it.
thought, well, they thought I must wreck their rallies. They wanted to know if I wanted to go on what sort of trips, and I said none. I just want to drive around the city.
That's terrible.
They actually do a great job for people with old cars. You can get really good insurance.
Yep.
And of course, the old cars, most people don't do very many Ks a year. And that's where that comes in. How many Ks a year do you think you'll be doing? So, but they do give really good insurance. I mean, we had 3 old cars for a while there, and I can't remember now, but you know, the premium was just neither here nor there. And the good thing is, if the car had an accident, you were always able to keep the car, even if it was written off, you could keep it and rebuild it. So they do provide a great service. And if you have got an old car that you're insuring with them, and then you want to insure your new car, then it's usually no problem.
So you need, so Jackie, you're saying you need the stalking horse of having an old car with them, and then they'll say, "Oh, we'll do your new car as well as part of the combine." Yeah, cool.
Yeah, at one stage we had about 5 cars, and we had them all insured with Shannons, including 2 standard road car type vehicles.
Yep.
So you know, and so they do actually do a pretty good job in that respect. So
yes, but just not with a brand new customer with just only a new car or a newish. Yeah. Alrighty.
Well, I'll give them a chance when mine comes up for renewal and see what they say, and maybe I'll just get a script down about how to be right into it.
Yeah. I want to join the middle-aged Tesla owners club or something for ladies and we do drives around Langley Park.
You can't lie, Harold. You have to give them your age.
It is the truth. No, middle-aged. Yeah, no, we'll all live to 120. It's okay.
It won't be long before there'll be classic Teslas. So the moment they get classified as a classic car, then Shannons will love you.
Yes.
So if you hang on to your old car, you know, it'll become a classic. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, mine is California. Okay.
That's right. It's a California. That's right. It's a high quality panel gaps that you can stick your arm through. Quality made in America car. On that note, it is well past our bedtime, so I should try and keep the show to as close to 2 hours as we can. So, is there any very last minute, any question or comments before we go? I think we're all pretty good, unless there's something pressing.
I'd like to think that the insurance companies will get better when there's more EVs on the road, like, you know, compared to when we first had to, you know, put insurance with our cars back in the day, and they didn't want to know us. But I'd like to think they're going to get better now. That's for sure.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, hopefully. Alrighty, Pete. How would you round out an awesome show like this as if I didn't already know?
As always, stay safe, stay sustainable, and stay ahead of the curve.
And the best way to do that is buy a Tesla, insure it with someone that might not quite be Shannon's just yet. Join TOCWA and ask us anything about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy and abundance. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Do join us on Sunday at Duncraig for our casual meetup at noon, and really look forward to seeing you on next week's episode of TOCWA's Ask Us Anything. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
You guys.
All right.
Night, everyone. Thanks, Harold.
Yeah.